All right, boys and girls, we got week 17 of the circa $1 million contest coming off a 4-1 week in week 16. That puts us at 45, 34, and 1 on the season. 45, 34, and 1 on the season. First place is out of sight at this point, but we could still get cash in and maybe make a run at the last quarter price. So but it's been a good stretch for us. We just started off bad. The first 4 weeks killed us, honestly. Other than that, we've been on fire. We probably could win this thing. It's just those first 3 weeks, actually week 2, 3, and 4 just really hurt us. But it's all good. Let's go for a 5-0 week. I'm really hoping for a 5-0 week. I feel really good about this slate. I think this should be at least a 4-1 week. I feel really good. So let's get right into it and let's keep the momentum rolling for the last 2 weeks of the season. All right, game 1. We got the Denver Broncos at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are a 3-point favorite here. Denver 9-6. They're coming off a 34-27 loss to the Chargers. They looked good in the first half and then just completely blew this game. And then we got the Bengals, who are 7-8, coming off a 24-6 win versus the Browns. They still have an outside chance in the wild card, but they've been playing really well as of late. Joe Burrow on fire, and I like them. They're at home. I like them to keep the momentum rolling. Everybody knows I'm not high on Denver, and so I like the Bengals here -3. I'm taking the Bengals -3. All right, game 2, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is currently a PK pick'em. Titans 3-12, coming off a 38-30 loss to the Colts. Not much to say there. They were completely getting spanked, and they made a comeback to make it at least interesting. And then Jags 3-12, they're coming off a 19-14 loss to the Vegas. Look, both teams are a complete mess, but actually Jaguars they've been pretty decent. They've had a few blowouts. Other than that, their defense pretty solid. Mac Jones is playing pretty good as of late. They're at home here. Obviously, it's tricky because both teams want to have a better, draft seed here, but I can't, focus on that. I like the Jaguars to win at home, and so I'm taking the Jaguars here, PK. All right, game 3, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are an 8-point favorite. Carolina 4-11, coming off a 36-30 win versus the Cardinals. They started off red hot in that game, and then Cardinals made a big comeback to bring it into overtime and actually had a chance to win in overtime, but they weren't able to do so. Carolina got the win. They played well. Got to give them credit. Bucks, 8-7. They lost 26-24 to Dallas. They had 2 bad turnovers in the fourth quarter. They can still win the division, still get in the playoffs. So it's more important to the Bucks than the Panthers, and they're at home here. I like Baker to air it out, and I like the -8 here. So I'm taking Tampa Bay -8. All right, game 4, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are a 1-point favorite. Packers 11-4, coming off a 34-0 win on Monday night versus the Saints. This was not even a game. Obviously, Saints were on their backup QB. A lot of injuries. They're done. And so, not too much to say about that win. But the Packers, obviously, they're looking good, right? Like, they 11-4, they started off 0-2, and they've been, on fire since. And then Vikings 13-2, they're coming off a 27-24 win versus Seattle. They're currently on an 8-game winning streak. They started off, I think, 5-0, then they lost 2 in a row, then they won 8 straight, and they're at home here. I think they actually have a chance to win the division and maybe potentially get to number 1 seed, outside chance. And Packers are kind of stuck where they are. And I like Minnesota here at home, and so I'm taking Minnesota -1. All right, 5th and final game for this week. We got the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 9.5-point favorite. Cowboys 7-8, coming off a 26-24 win versus the Bucs. They got the win versus the Bucs. They played pretty solid. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb is expected not to play in this game. He's done for the season. But Dallas has been playing pretty good even since Dak got injured. Cooper Rush is playing well. They've won games. They've stayed competitive. And then Eagles 12-3, coming off a 36-33 loss to the Commanders. Jalen Hurts expected not to play in this game. Not too much important for them at this point. Obviously, Saquon's going for the rushing record. But the interesting thing here is the Circa line that comes out, it's at 9.5 for Eagles. The line is currently down to 7.5, right? And so that's a huge swing, 2 points here. And, Pickett's probably going to be starting. I like the Cowboys here. I think you get 2 extra points. You got to take it here. I think they can keep this close, even with CD out. So I'm taking the Cowboys plus 9.5. And yeah, like I said earlier, I think it should be a good week, and I feel good about this slate. I do want to say, everybody comment below of how you guys kind of like this separate Circa video that we've been putting out every week for the last, the entire season. This is new this year. So I just want to know some feedback. If you guys like this, or you're like, hey, Ace, we don't like it, it's whatever. But give me your feedback. I would appreciate that if you guys want us to, we can consider for next season if we're going to continue on, and maybe some segments we're going to add or take away. And so I would appreciate some feedback on the Circa $1 Million Contest segment. All right, boys and girls, good luck this week. We'll see you next week for Week 18.